24-year-old Jennifer Kesse disappeared on January 24th of 2006. Reminiscent of the Jody Huisentruit case, Jennifer went missing while leaving to go to work. But in this case, there were no signs of a struggle. When she didn't show up for work that morning, it was completely out of character. Her employer called her parents, and they drove to Orlando. Her car was missing, and her apartment showed nothing out of the ordinary. Jennifer's family went to police to report her missing, but authorities didn't initially take it seriously since Jennifer was an adult. By late afternoon, they began an investigation. Since there was no sign of forced entry, police initially believed she might have been abducted while walking to her car. Orlando police failed to contain Jennifer's apartment, and as many as 14 people, members of friends and family, gathered there, essentially contaminating the condo. Even sorority sisters of Jennifer's arrived to help print and distribute flyers. On Thursday, the 26th, a tenant of an apartment complex about a mile away notices Jennifer's case on the news. She reports that she's seen a black car parked in the area near the pool for 2 days. Police discover it's Jennifer's black Chevy Malibu. Items left inside indicate robbery wasn't a motive. When they check surveillance cameras facing the pool area, they find footage that captured an unknown figure parking the car, sitting inside for about 30 seconds, possibly to wipe everything down, and then walking away in the direction of Jennifer's complex. The car is taken in for testing, and the footage is studied, but the wrought iron gate around the pool obscured the person's face, making identification nearly impossible. The person appears to be male, wearing work or painter's clothes, with hair either in a bun or tucked under a hat, wearing dark boots. They never looked back. NASA has even been consulted in an attempt to enhance the footage. A bloodhound tracked a scent from the car back to Jennifer's complex, but was then lost. Forensic search of the car yielded only a latent print of Jennifer's and a small fiber. There were signs of a potential struggle in dust on the hood, and definitely a boot print near the gas pedal. Missing from the condo and car were Jennifer's cell phone, keys, purse, briefcase, and iPod. Her bank account has not been touched. One of the main theories of what happened centered around workers at Jennifer's complex, whose apartments were undergoing extensive work to be turned into condos. Several residents interviewed by the family reported to have unpleasant interactions with construction workers. Another woman reportedly moved out after multiple incidents of her apartment being entered without permission. She reported this to management, but was basically ignored. After confronting a man on her patio one night, she moved elsewhere. Many of the workers, possibly undocumented, left the area once the video was released. One witness that didn't come forward until years later claimed that she and her husband had seen a black Chevy coming out of the complex and driving erratically, and there also seemed to be a struggle going on inside that appeared someone was trying to wrestle the steering wheel away from the driver. Another witness later came forward to report having seen someone in a truck at Lake Fisher in 2006. The man got out, checked his surroundings, and then retrieved a long rug from the truck bed, which he threw into the lake. In 2019, dive teams and cadaver dogs found very little there, with only 2 hits by the dogs, but nothing else was found. Also in 2019, the family sued the Orlando PD, believing nothing more was happening with the case. They won their case and received all of the files, and are still actively working on trying to solve Jennifer's disappearance. Both Jennifer's long-distance boyfriend of a year, Rob Allen, and her ex-boyfriend, Matt, were checked out. The ex was known to have been drinking at a bar across from Jennifer's condo the night of January 23rd, but both have been cleared. From Jennifer's computer, detectives discovered that a co-worker had a crush on Jennifer, but she had rejected it based on the complications of office relationships. And still, no one has been arrested in this case. The one positive was a new law being passed called the Jennifer Kesse and Tiffany Sessions Act. Tiffany was another young woman who went missing in Gainesville. The law directs police to start looking for a missing person 25 years or younger within 2 hours of them being reported missing. Jennifer was officially declared dead in 2016, and her whereabouts remain unknown.
Hi, welcome. We are here with another episode of True Crime Psychic Eye. So, we air episodes twice a month live, unless there is an unusually unique case that we want to jump on. But tonight, as you see, we're doing Jennifer Kesse. Before we get started, let's meet everyone. My name's Maryam, and I am a psychic medium. We have Harlow, who is our researcher and producer, and basically the backbone to the show. And then we have Denise, our psychic medium. And together we're going to see if we can help get some new information, get some new leads to hopefully make sense of what happened to Jennifer. This is one of Florida's most well-known unsolved cases. So as you guys saw, on January 24th of 2006, she didn't show up for work. On the 26th, her car was found abandoned in a nearby apartment complex. Surveillance cameras there captured grainy footage of an unidentified person parking her car and walking away. No arrests have even been made ever. So this year, the Florida Department of Law Enforcement reopened the case, but she is still missing. So we are excited to see a lot of new subscribers still coming into our YouTube True Crime Psychic Eye page. So welcome. Just so you guys know, myself and Denise, we do not follow or read up on any of these cases, so we can come in as clear and open as possible. Of course, some of the cases can be very high profile, and we may have heard of them before. If that's the case, then we'll obviously let you guys know. There's obviously information we've already heard or learned. But for the most part, Denise and I don't follow true crime, and we didn't follow it prior to the show, and we definitely don't follow now, just so we are very clear coming in. With that being said, we have Harlow read through the comments on our page and other posts on the topics to determine what still needs to be covered, to determine what cases you guys want us to read. So please, let us know in the comments what you guys want to see. We are going to make sure that all of our cases are, tailored to what you guys are looking for. And then we will be launching our subscriber option soon, which is the, not to put you on the spot, Harlow, but it's
Channel membership.
Channel membership. Thank you. And we're still working on, we're going to record a bunch of content. So we'll launch with some content already in place. And then the whole sticker thing, that's a thing.
Badges. And then there's super chats, super stickers. We'll have some behind the scenes footage and some episodes where we're discussing some other true crime things, and try to get some stuff built up in there so people will have something to look at when they join.
And ultimately, for subscribers, we'll be offering personal reads, one question personal reads if you want them. We'll also be doing, since there's so many cases to do, a lot of the lesser known cases, or if you guys have cases that are like local to your community, we'll be doing those in the subscriber area also. And of course, if any of that, we want to make sure that anything that we read, if anyone is watching the videos and says, hey, I'm from that community and that information might be helpful, we'll obviously take it out of the subscriber section and either hand it over or make it live so that everyone can view it. We want our, guidance and our insight to help, not to be something that is information that's withheld. We want as many people to hear about it, know about it, so that maybe one day it will reach the right people and we can help those that are interested or in the case and need help in the case.
Definitely.
All right. Harlow, Denise, how are you guys doing tonight?
Very good.
So Denise uses her tarot cards, and if you see her looking down, that's why she's dealing. She's a dealer. She's
21.
using cards. And for me, I work off photos, so I've got photos on my phone. So that in these photos we can't share because they're copyright. So if you see me looking down, that's what I'm doing. All right, we got the facts of the case. Let's add that.
Yeah, this is interesting to me. I lived in Florida for about 10 years, but I didn't move there till 2009, early 2010, and this happened just a few years before that. So it was new to me, even though I'd lived in the area, because it happened basically in Orlando.
Oh, interesting. Okay. Something about this case for me feels very fresh still. Like it feels like it just happened, but it didn't. It was in 2006, but it
Mhm.
feels like very recent still.
I agree.
Maybe it's because the family is still just, it feels like maybe the family's still mourning as if it happened yesterday, you
Well,
know?
and they've kind of been abandoned. The police department wasn't really doing much, so they've sued for the case files and got their own private investigator, and so they're still working the case.
Okay. All right, so let's get started. I'm going to look at the photos. Harlow, what's your first leading question?
Not so much of questions with this one because very little is known. I am more interested in seeing where you guys can jump in and what you see specifically, and maybe we can kind of follow that line and see what happened detail wise.
Like what actually happened that night?
Yeah, exactly. Like, do you see her making it to her car that morning? She usually left for work about 7:30. Did she make it to her car?
Okay. Yes, she did.
So what do you see? Did she go very far? How far did she go by herself? And then what happened from there?
This picture of this ex-boyfriend, is this the ex Jennifer and boyfriend Rob?
That was her current boyfriend at the time. I couldn't find a photo of the ex-boyfriend.
There's something about Rob. What did the police say about him?
Okay, so by his own admission, they spoke the night before. They had been on a trip. They came back. That night of the 23rd, he talked to her at 10 p.m. and he admitted that they'd had a slight disagreement about their long distance relationship. She was in Orlando, he was in Fort Lauderdale, which is like a 3-hour drive. And that's kind of, I mean, he got along with the family and everything. Nothing bad is known about him. But we do know that they had a disagreement on the phone the night before she left or was taken.
I'm feeling, but I'll have this checked, and it's okay if Denise, if you don't get the same thing, I feel like that's okay, because for some reason I'm not fully sold on this yet, but I'm seeing this pretty clear. Rob, uh, he was waiting for her, not in a, well, I won't say that. He was waiting for her. She didn't want to talk about it. She wanted to break up. He wouldn't let her go. He got in the car with her. There was a struggle in the car. She was driving though.
Mm-hmm.
And there was a struggle in the car. She pulled over. And he said, "No, I'm not taking you back." Meaning, I'm not going to, because she was saying, "Take me back to my house at least. Just leave me alone. Just let me at least go back to my house." And he says, "No." He wants to keep talking. They drive. It's getting fuzzy for me at that point.
What card did you get, Denise?
Okay, so the first card I got was awareness and connection. And so what I'm coming away from this is that she became aware of some part of his personality that he was able to hide during the long distance relationship. And when that transpired, she didn't want to have anything to do with him anymore. In
Yes.
that moment, she was a little apprehensive for her well-being, but not so much that she didn't feel not safe getting in the car with him until he caused a problem.
Yes.
Then the next card I pulled is celestial, and it's spiral is the word that's popping out on here for me. And the conversation just started to spiral completely and totally out of control. And she was no longer in control because he kept trying to grab the steering wheel from her. And the car was very erratic, moving. And she kind of wanted it to keep doing that because she was trying to get the attention of somebody to stop or call the police or something of that nature. And it just kept going. And till
sorry, go ahead. I want, let me interject really quick. Yes, thank you. You filled in where I was fuzzy. She willingly pulled over. She said, fine, okay, I'll pull over. Let's talk. And she did that because she wasn't, I don't feel like she was fully scared yet as much as she was just irritated at that point. Fine, what do you want? Pulled over. He says, get out. Let's talk. And they switched positions somehow. He ended up driving. So somehow they switched positions. This case reminds me, I keep hearing the Gabby, what's her name? Petito?
Yeah.
They keep being shown that this is an abusive relationship and this man went one step too far. Who do you have? What are you holding there?
So then this card here is basically, this is confirmation, because when he took over the car, she felt very isolated. She felt helpless, and she was not really sure how she was going to get out of this now, because now she was scared, and he was irrational, I'm getting, and very aggressive with his words. He hadn't really, I'm still feeling like he hadn't like hurt her yet, but he was scaring her really very much, like scaring, like the thing that scaring the daylights out of her. Like she was just like, and so I feel like in her mind, she was just whirling, like, how do I get out of it? She was just trying to like figure this kind of stuff out.
And he didn't like with the Gabby Petito. Am I saying that name correctly? The Gabby.
Yeah, you're fine.
Neither one of these men intended to kill. They were deeply abusive men and thought they had control over themselves, and they didn't. And this happened, and there's an entitlement behind both of them that thinks he was believed. He was believed. He's really smart the way he voluntarily, even Harlow, when you were sharing how, like, well, he came forward on his own and said all of that on purpose. This is the man that did it.
They had spent a weekend together prior to her going missing. Maybe I was thinking maybe something came up in his personality during that trip that kind of made her decide to leave.
How long were they together? 2 years?
I think it was only a year.
Because I keep feeling like they weren't together long enough for her to really understand that. And he is good. He's manipulative. He's persuasive. And he's good in that respect. And I feel like part of the reason why I would like to know his history, who his family is, because I feel like there may be a connection as to why the case was dropped or just not pursued, because clues started to point.
Interesting. So often in these cases, though, you see these husbands that nobody suspects a thing. Look at.
I'm sorry. I know.
Husband, and people think they're just the salt of the earth next door, and it's just not the case.
I mean, but it's like, I don't know the statistics. If Anita's was watching, she could tell us. But it's like statistics show that abuse tends to come from for women, the abuse comes from inside the house.
Mm-hmm.
So in that same breath, how do we then say, oh, he's the best, he's this, he would never, he doesn't seem like it. How conflicting is that?
It is very.
And unfortunately for me, it sort of jades me, where the second someone is too nice, I'm like, anyway, what's the card? Sorry.
No, you're good. This one is step out, and it's hidden courage and camouflage. So really what he did was he camouflaged his personality.
Mm-hmm.
And he hid behind the nice guy persona in order to be able to never look like he was the guilty party.
Yeah. I mean, and you can, but just by looking at this picture, it was like, Harlow, in the short that we made for this, did I say the boyfriend?
Yes, he sure did.
I'm really smart. Because I don't mean to be rude, but it's the beady eyes. And if you guys haven't seen the boyfriend, I like in situations like this, it's like, you don't need to be a psychic. Look at his face.
Mm-hmm.
Sorry, I hope he doesn't ever see this one day, but
I know. And
for my own sake, I hope he doesn't see it one day.
That is
obviously he's very good at selling it, because when you just mentioned it on that short and we posted it on TikTok, several people said, it's not the boyfriend, he loved her, So a lot of people are fooled.
And let's also be clear. He loved her. I never said he didn't love her. Mm-hmm. And anyone who's been in an abusive relationship, as I have, the abuser loves you.
Mm-hmm.
They just love themselves more, and they love their anger and their abuse a lot more. Sorry, Denise, you were saying?
No, I was going to agree with you on that. It's just more of a, he was just like a Jekyll and Hyde, and he was able to pull it off for as long as he did because they were not in the same city.
Mm-hmm.
And so he could control his behavior for a weekend.
Yeah.
That sort of thing. And I don't know, I wasn't there, but I feel like that it wasn't even something they saw every week. They didn't see each other every weekend. Like, she had her life in Orlando, and he didn't like that she had her own life in Orlando. He really wanted to control her friends, her friendship, and that sort of thing. So he, like most abusers, they learn how to worm their way in. Mm-hmm. and ingratiate themselves in the family and the friends. And then when I feel like then they just dive in, and when the iron's hot and they just get their clutches in there, and then they start to pull you away from your friends and family. Mm-hmm. But because she didn't see him on a daily basis, she didn't fall as easily for it as some other people, myself included. I've been in an abusive relationship as well. And so and people are always like, well, how come she didn't get out of that? Or how come, you don't know you're in it until you're in it.
Of course. Absolutely. And this is what's hard about, all cases are hard, but this case is, to me, especially hard because she never, to Denise's point, had he lived there, she would have seen it so much quicker, never would have put up with it. No. Not in a million years. This was just not her style. She was smart. And I'm not saying those of us that ended up in abusive relationships weren't smart, but she didn't have the trauma that those of us that end up in abusive relationships had. She didn't have that trauma following her. So she could see it and go, what are you doing? Like, what are you doing? That's not, whereas those of us that have been in those relationships are like, oh, that's what love is, She wasn't like that. She was like, that was not going to fly, like you were saying. And so she would have caught it, left him, and it would have been done very quickly. And I think her family knows that. Her family, like, I feel like the family is like, and they're right. We know her. She never would have done like whatever the cops say, typical of, well, she probably went off and did this or did that. And like, that's not her. She's not like that. She's not flighty. She's not forgetful. She's very aware of her surroundings. None of this was.
The parents emphasized that she was very safety conscious. She was taught if anybody tries to hijack you, carjack you, then you try to crash and you don't put up with this, so that was very part of her personality. So where would he go from there? Do you know where he took her? Do you know who that was on the security camera parking her car and walking away?
So the other thing I wanted to say to that too is when what I was shown when you were saying that, Harlow, is she went down to her car and he was leaning against it and they were talking and she's like, I need to go, or I want to go, whatever that is. Just fine. Come with me and we'll keep talking. I'm going to back up for a sec. Was she headed to work? Was that the situation?
Yes.
Okay. Because I wasn't sure for a second. There was a part of me was also feeling like he called us and said, hey, I'm here. Can you come talk to me before you go? So she wasn't caught off guard that he was there, for starters. And then there was this sense of, well, I have to go. So I guess you're coming with me. Or he just kind of, not I guess, it was like, I'm still not feeling fear or struggle is my point. And when he got in the car, there still wasn't, until it started to go. At that point, things started to go weird, because he's like, oh, you're actually going to go to work while we're talking? And she's like, yeah. And that's when things started to get, because I feel like her trying to, the erratic behavior was him trying to control her, not she at that point wasn't like, oh, I need to crash to get out of this. He starts messing with her and like, stop, we need to talk, stop the car, like that type of thing. And that's when she pulled over and was just like, what's happening right now? So I'm seeing them talking in the car. They switched positions. She was they got out. They must have got out to talk. And then things calmed down for a minute, because she got in the passenger seat. He got in the driver's seat. She knew at that point she was done with this and that nothing was going to resolve this, but she was just trying to get herself out of it. I'm still not feeling her fearful for her life. I'm feeling her shaken and just like, this guy's an a-hole, but not fearful for her life. So she trusts that, which is why she ends up in the passenger seat. He's in the driver's seat. I don't see anything after that. Do you, Denise?
We do have a question too.
Oh, that's what I was going to do.
Yeah. How did Rob convince the police that he was at work at the time of her disappearance? The police ruled him out early. Yes, they did. They stated his alibi checked out.
I don't have an answer to that. I mean, you can have people back you up until you're blue in the face, right? Go ahead.
Well, I was going to say, I think there was a lot of, I keep seeing money switching hands.
Oh, interesting.
So I think there was a lot of.
Well, you mentioned his family possibly having connections too.
Yeah. So I see switching hands of like money switching hands, like here, just say I was here, or, or somebody was say I was here, say this, and it was enough money that they're like, okay, because they also didn't know his real personality.
Yeah, because when you say that too, to answer Megan's question, I mean, I joke when I say I don't know, but I genuinely, like, anything's possible. But that's what I feel too, is this is a man that can call someone up and go, guys, come on, that I would never do something like that. It just looks weird. I need your help with this. It just looks weird. Yeah. And people are like, of course he wouldn't, that's why I'm saying, like, it's really easy I feel like it's really easy to create an alibi is what I'm saying, especially this person doesn't have a past. he doesn't have a history of hurting people, harming people. Doesn't mean he hasn't. It means no one's called the cops on him. No one has told, there's no, rumor circulating, although I would bet my life on it. His prior girlfriends may have something to say about him. What do you got?
Okay, so this one is mischief, freedom, and reckless. So he was very, to me, it was like he thought he was free, but he was, he was very mischievous. And so, but he came across as this lighthearted, free loving, kind of like, yeah, whatever kind of guy. But when he had that altercation with Jennifer, that was when he was becoming reckless with his behavior. And so then he had to kind of like really quickly pull it together. And then, like you said, then contact, hey guys, I would never do this. I came down here. I love her. I was on my way back. Like whatever story he told them was also plausible because, again, he went to the police. Yes, we had an argument. Yes, this happened. Like he really tried. So he got away with it in his mind. That was where the freedom comes in, because he was like, he just was free with his conversation and his words and blah, 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 blah. And he was so convincing. And because he was such a manipulator, that he would actually be able to look people in the eye and have these conversations. So then people didn't even suspect him of not telling the truth, because he was just very forthcoming and forthright with supposedly the information, where in reality, he was just covering his own butt.
Do we know what his alibi was, that he was at work?
Mm-hmm.
At work he was in Florida. She was somewhere.
They were both in Florida. He was in Fort Lauderdale. She was in Orlando.
And do we know what proof we have that he was at work?
I don't know.
They don't mention like he was clocked in, he was in a meeting.
I don't know.
I'm just curious how much information there is on him being at work.
I know they ruled him out pretty early on based on that alibi, but I don't know specifics.
Right. Well, see, and then I have another thing, depending on what he did for a living. Was he in Orlando on business?
Phone records.
Okay.
Phone records from what, though? A cell phone? A landline? Okay, so hold on. This is, why we don't want to get into the guessing game, but hold on. So a couple things. One is, the only thing I could find was AI saying he was in a meeting at 9, but I can't find where that comes from.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I couldn't either. That's why I didn't make note of it. I couldn't find any verification.
I don't want to get into a timeline, but everything we're seeing. So hold on. No, I'm going to stick to what I said. What time was she supposed to show up to work?
She usually left about 7:30, and they noticed by 11 she wasn't there or hadn't contacted them at all. And then the employer called the family.
I do feel like we'll come back to this. I'm not ignoring these questions.
But
I do feel. Go ahead.
A lot of time, because by 12 o'clock, the camera captured that person parking her car and walking away. So 4 or 5 hours.
Megan, I believe. Thank you, Megan. And just to be clear for Megan and anyone else, it's okay. Like, the whole point of the show is for you guys to challenge and bring facts. Like, of course, for me, it's about, for all of us, it's just about the more information we can get together, the clearer we can get.
I can only find so much in the short period of time I have to work in. So I appreciate everybody chiming in with a lot of people have studied this for a long time.
So what just popped in for me was he could have very easily done what he did and been at his meeting by 9.
I thought the same thing. I just didn't want to say it because it was logic, my head going, well, I mean, he could have done whatever he needed to do. And again, the phone records is like, is it a cell phone or is it a landline? If it's a landline in their office, okay, so then did he send someone to do this?
Well, because it didn't look like him on that surveillance camera video.
Yeah, but I don't feel so. One thing I felt immediately is when you talked about them carrying this guy carrying a rug, the truck and the rug, I knew that wasn't him. He didn't deal with her body at all.
No.
I didn't think that was. I mean, that lady may have very well have seen that, but it was quite a bit later after Jennifer had gone missing, so I didn't really connect it to the case. But it is mentioned in all the timelines you see, so I did put it in there.
He didn't deal with her body, and I'm not even convinced. No, I was just. I mean, here's the thing. He's the one. She has passed because of him. Did he actually? I'm feeling like there was something with the neck and strangulation or something where her neck broke. And this was, like I said, too far. It went too far. Whether it was him or he hired someone, this is all on him. And she, that's where I feel like it happened. And then it wasn't planned.
Yeah.
His rage got the better of him. And he didn't move the rug. He didn't, but I feel like she was wrapped in it for some reason, but he didn't have anything to do with that.
Yeah, I thought the same thing.
What I can't get what I'm trying to really tap into is the construction workers on the building. Because again, this goes back to the money changing hands, and I keep seeing that. And I'm wondering if, I don't know, Maryam, you can tap into this and see if he paid off the workers to do something, because then they just disappeared off the job.
The timing of when they disappeared.
Now, I think the family actually believes one of the construction workers or more than one were involved.
Yeah. I mean, I think that this is why this is good that we bring up this information, because he did it. Those construction workers didn't just randomly. Those construction workers, they may have broken into places, they may have been stealing, but they weren't. I don't feel at all that they had. They would have just randomly taken a woman and killed her for no reason. Like that just for me feels way off. Like this man, her boyfriend was involved. Whether he was the one that did the act by accident or he hired someone, he did it. And I feel like there was 2 other people involved. The person that moved the car and the person with the rug, 2 different people. She passed, obviously. And I feel like, I think we're talking to her. Because she keeps saying to me, there's something she keeps saying no to. She's like, no, it was, I can't tell what she's showing me. Denise, get your cards. I have cards that I'm using for the next hour for my meditation, but she's trying to get it. She's trying to tell us something. She's showing me like something like this. And I feel like she's trying to show us the how it happened. Like it started here, it went here, it went here. The Lovers is the first card that came out for me. And I'm no Denise with the cards, but come on, guys. She's trying
The
to.
car was found only a mile away, basically, so that kind of makes sense.
What is she? So let me just kind of keep talking for a minute. I feel like if I keep talking, I'll get clarity from her. And Denise, just jump in. She's trying to tell us that there was the points that had happened. There was 3 points that had happened. 3 points that had happened. 2 different people that were involved. Was he the one in your car, though? Because she keeps saying there's something you guys are getting wrong. She's not saying it like mad or anything. She's just like, something you guys are getting, or something you guys are getting wrong. Okay, so what is it? What is it? Okay, it wasn't it wasn't choking. It wasn't choking, and it wasn't him. He didn't use his hands to do it. What do we got?
This is the herbalist and herbs, medicine, and healing. So it's almost like, I want to say like it's not chloroform, but some kind of something was given to her. And
look it. That's the card that came out for me. So keep going, because
I feel like she's nodding her head. Maybe you can confirm that, like with the, like there was some kind of, he took her, and I think actually she was alive when he wrapped her in the rug. I think there was some, and then they needed to dispose of the rug because her DNA was on the rug, but I don't think she was wrapped up in with, I don't feel like, I think they drugged her or something. That's what I'm getting.
Yeah. She's saying that she's saying that you're closer. She's saying that the mouth, the covering of the mouth, which is what we got, the covering of the eyes.
They took her somewhere, and then where did they take her? They took her somewhere, and they took her somewhere, and then after she passed, then they moved the rug. I think they took her to a different condo apartment that they were working on, which is how they were able to move the car back to the same. Yeah, I feel like it was in a vacant apartment.
Okay, so she's saying, I didn't know the person. Okay, so then Jennifer, makes sense. We saw your conversation happening. I saw the conversation. I saw how all of that played out. So help me understand that. She's saying, I'm confused because, not me. She's confused because my mind was fuzzy for so much before I passed.
Can you ask her, Maryam, if they hurt her?
What do you mean? I mean, besides before they
I feel
killed
like
her?
there was some type of assault.
Hold on. I was lured out by my boyfriend. I was under the impression that That's who I was meeting. That's who I was speaking with. That's who I was going to see. I was lured out by him. There's a conflict here. It's like there's this energetic confusion.
Mhm.
And it's giving. Did any other psychics weigh in on this, Harlow?
I haven't really seen very many on this case.
It's almost like she doesn't really remember what happened either. Jennifer.
Yeah,
Mhm.
she doesn't.
She doesn't know. She doesn't really have any idea how she ended up where she was at. He did lure her, got her outside. Did she get in the car with the boyfriend? Is she saying no?
This is the thing is, for me, it just flowed out what I saw.
Mhm. To a point.
And
I think she got in the car with the boyfriend.
the thing that's throwing me off is that was he what now I'm just guessing. I'm guessing, I'm like speculating to make sense of things. Could it have been that what I saw was she's on the phone with him, he's getting her outside, they're having a conversation, and he's like, yeah, like, just go out. Like, she's saying, I'm going to work. She's basically telling him what she's doing. She gets out there, which is how he had this set up. Because there was someone was waiting for her, is what that someone was waiting for her. She walked down to her car and somebody was there. Someone that knew she was leaving for work.
Supposedly they talked on the phone every morning before she left for work too.
Okay, so that's helpful. So I'm talking to her, talking to you guys. Okay, so she's also still very okay, obviously. Okay, so Jennifer, please help us. Okay, so I'm going to confirm what I originally said is you walked out to your car, you were either on the phone with him or he was there. Somehow he was involved from the moment you left your apartment till you got to the car, correct? Okay. Hold on. I want to help her for a sec because she's really upset. So for anyone watching, if you guys can just start sending some light. She's obviously, there's residual energy that's lingering, that's fear and anger, confusion. So send her some light. You don't have to feel or know or just imagine it. Let's get her to just feel comfortable and safe for a moment so she can talk. Okay, so let's try this again. Who was at your car? She keeps saying he was. Are you saying the boyfriend? Your boyfriend, Rob? Was that his name, Rob?
Yes.
I don't know. I couldn't see. She's saying I couldn't see. I don't know him. He was there to scare me. And then, Denise, you're right. It was over the mouth. Hold on. She's showing me now, like, her slumped over. We don't know the person. We don't know the person that got in the car with her. We don't know that person. But we do know that the boyfriend lured her out. I'm still not convinced it wasn't him, because I feel like a part of her is also saying, I didn't know him. I thought I knew him, but I didn't know him.
Makes sense.
I'm not convinced she's saying I didn't literally know him.
Mm-hmm.
She wants to stay close so she can stay close to the family. She doesn't want to move on.
They seem like a really nice family.
So I'm asking her how we can help. How do we help? She says she connects with her mom regularly. She, comes through to her mom in dreams, and throughout the day, she connects with her mom. The problem with that, not the problem with that, but Jennifer's confused on what happened, why it happened, how it happened. And so when she's communicating with mom, that confusion comes through. And the police hit a dead end, because there's three people involved. There's the boyfriend, the second guy, the third guy. The second guy is long gone. I don't even think he's in this country. The third guy is still wandering around Florida. And the third guy was just the one that disposed of.
Would she ask a question? Would she answer a question?
Sure, we can try.
So when you were trying to connect with her, I immediately started sending Reiki energy to her, letting her know she was safe with us. And during that process, I still, with the face, I felt like they came over from behind her and kind of grabbed her like around the neck, like a chokehold. And I think it went too far. I think that's where you, Maryam, may have felt the above. Can she confirm that?
Yes. There's both. Both.
Thank you, Jennifer.
She's asking why this happened. I'm just explaining. I'm trying to make sense of that for you. I think the best thing that I'm explaining to her, the best thing that she can do is to turn to her guides, her angels, and work this out so that she can find balance with it. And then once she finds balance with it, she'll be able to send the correct information through her mom or through her dad, or she has a sibling or two, through
brother.
them,
Yeah.
through the brother, and get that information out there. The second guy is not going to be found. He's gone. But the third guy may have that triangle I kept seeing, connection to the boyfriend.
Mm.
But until and she's open, she will, but until she really makes peace with this, because it feels like the reason why the way this case will be resolved will be through the family. It's something the family's going to do successfully because of Jennifer's lead.
Okay.
And that's important because the mom needs this closure. Not that you ever really get closure, but just, I would say, maybe more confirmation that all this time she's been feeling and hearing Jennifer, that it's real. And so she needs to be the one to be able to pass on the information.
Okay.
What's the card?
It's threshold, answers, and open mind. So it's, it's Jennifer being open-minded to talk with her guides so that she can pass through the threshold, so that she can give the answers to her mom or her dad, like you said, so that this can get resolved, because she really doesn't know why this happened, because she just, in her mind, she just was going to break up with him.
Mm.
And it escalated so quickly that she was so confused that she had no idea what was going on or what was happening or why. And then because I feel like she wasn't past at that point, and then the other two were involved, and she was really confused about what happened there. And I think the third guy is the one who got rid of the rug. But I'm not so, I still don't feel like she was not alive. I still feel like she was alive when she was originally wrapped in that rug.
But I don't think she was coherent.
No. She didn't know what was going on, but I think they thought she was past. I don't think she was.
Yeah. I agree.
That's
I gotcha.
I
gotcha. Can you verify with her that her ex-boyfriend, Matt, was not involved? He was reported to be near her apartment the night before, drinking at a bar. I don't feel him.
No, what I kept getting, for whatever reason, he loved her. He was still in love with her. And he would be near it, hoping to run into her, is kind of what I got, because he really missed her. He really loved her. And I feel like he was taking responsibility for why they broke up, because he did something stupid, like cheated on her. You know what I mean? Like something. I'm not going to say that that's innocuous, but
right
in the grand
comparatively,
relatively speaking, I feel like that he realized that he's the one who effed up, and he was just hoping that maybe she could see that he changed and loved her, and that sort of thing.
I agree. When did he approach Jennifer? He was at work at 9 a.m. His coworkers have said he was there. Did this happen the night before?
Well, if he wasn't the one that actually did it, that makes sense how he had plenty of time to get back.
Yeah, I mean, it could very well be that what we're seeing, like that whole fight playing out, her meeting him downstairs, like maybe that all happened, like you're saying, the night before, and he
in the
went
middle
back
of the
to
night.
work, or
because I kind of keep feeling like it was dark-ish outside.
I agree.
And so it may have even, Okay, now
I
that
agree.
we talked about this and she's confirmed some things, I feel like she told him the night before. He didn't want to hear that. So he drove to talk her out of it and convince her, I feel like. And then it just escalated into this thing. And then he didn't know what to do and, just kind of figured out what he needed to do and then got back or maybe got there late or something. But I feel like it was, if they had, I don't know what time they talked the night before on the phone, but if they had talked at 10
Mm-hmm.
and they hung up at like 10:15, 10:30, he could easily have gotten there by what, 1:30, right?
Yeah. Yeah. It's a 3-hour
Not,
trip.
so if he got there at 1:30, he may have called her and said, I'm downstairs. And she's like, what the world are you doing here, kind of thing. So I think, and the grogginess also would kind of play into he probably woke her up. And
I think, yeah, I see the same thing you do where it was nighttime. Oh, sorry, it wasn't nighttime. It was dark out.
yeah.
When she was walking to her car, it was darker. I did not see it being bright, sunny morning time.
Right.
And that whole conversation, who knows when that conversation could have taken place. But I agree that it was darker. And then, but now I understand why things are sort of convoluted. It's because her energy. So hopefully after today, we were able to kind of close and calm her a little bit and help focus her and guide her to clearing this so she can get to the parents and the brother and send them the information that's needed. And in our post show next week, maybe we can get we'll check in with her and see how she's doing and if there's some clarification. But we know that I don't think it doesn't seem like it's for us to get, specific information, because part of the healing process is for her to be able to communicate with the family and the family as a whole to come together and see the synergy of her bringing this whole thing together. So it sounds like this whole, tonight was all about being able to communicate with her and help her.
Open the door. Yeah.
Yeah, for some reason, I feel like once she resolves these things and has this conversation, I actually I have a feeling, I have a sense that then they'll actually find her body.
I feel like they'll be able to find her body too. Feels like it's muddy, but it's not, but it's still intact enough.
Yeah. And I feel like I'm getting a feeling from her now. She almost a little bit of a sense of relief that somebody was able to hear her and share a little bit of her story, even though right now she's currently a little confused. But I think you being able to have that conversation with her and that to suggest that she talk to her angels and her guides and get clarity around that, so she can then share what needs to be shared with her family.
Yeah, I mean, I have to say the one thing I feel clear about is just that initial vision I had in the beginning of her coming downstairs, of him being there, of them having that conversation, the interaction, of her trying to, all of that,
That may be the last thing she really remembered well.
Yeah. Which is always, in these cases, you kind of hope they don't know. There isn't a long struggle and suffering,
I feel like he almost kind of wanted, I don't know. Again, I could be completely off base here, but I almost feel like he kind of intended to kidnap her, not to hurt her, but to bring her back with him almost. And then it just went awry, because I'm with you for sure that he did not, it wasn't premeditated to unalive her. I mean,
Yeah. Yeah.
it was, he definitely intended to have a conversation or see her, scare her, whatever, but I think it went sideways.
Yeah. Agreed. Well, that's depressing. Well, hopefully if anyone's watching this case after we did the live, please feel free to send light, to send some calming, supportive, loving energy to her so she is reminded that she's not alone, and she can find the strength to turn to, those around her now to help move her through this experience so that she can see it more clearly and pass that information on. It's never too late to do that, even if you're watching this a week or so after or more after. So good work, Harlow.
Yeah, thank you.
Yeah, no, you guys did great.
I'll be interested to see what comes up for us on the post show. The post show we're going to record on Monday, and I'll post it probably that night, Monday night, after we've had some time to sleep on it, kind of step away from it, feel if she's still around, where she's at on, come Monday. And then we'll post that for you guys Monday night. So any other questions you have about it, any other information you have, put it in the comments. We'll bring it all to the post show on Monday.
Yeah, it kind of made sense to me too, based on what happened when I was first getting involved with the case and researching it. So,
Okay.
And then nothing after, and I never felt connected after that.
Interesting. All right. And for those of you that are on my page, Maryam Farish, I'll be doing a guided meditation after this, and in just about 5 minutes. And then we will be back Monday for the post show, then a week after that for our next case. Keep an eye out for our subscription membership options. We'll be bringing those to you guys, and thank you for the support as always. Good work, you guys, tonight.
Yeah,
excellent work.
Thank you, everyone.
Okay. All right, you guys have a good night. Bye.
Bye.